That's why I hide behind hanging outside the ship.
Crazy curvy wavy big titties, little waist body. Crazy curvy wavy big titties, little waist body. Yada 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 yada.
What up, guys? It's your boy Chris, aka Money Mitch, back with another episode of the Money Mitch Show. Did you miss me? Because I miss you. As you know, it's Monday, which means what? It's Military Mondays. Military Mondays. All right. And as you can tell by today's title, I am going to tell you what it's like being an undesignated PAC sailor in the United States Navy. I'm going to tell you guys from my personal experience because I, AD2 Mitchum, was an undesignated sailor at one point in time. Alright, so let's talk about what is APAC. Like what it stands for, what does it mean? So basically APAC is a professional apprenticeship career tracks. It is a program designed for enlisted sailors to enter in an apprenticeship program that provides apprenticeship level training and on-the-job training that leads to a permanent rate/career in the field within 2 years. So basically what that means is that you enter the Navy without a job, basically. Like you don't have a job, you don't have an assigned job or task that you would do for the rest of your naval career. Like you don't have that. So you are just basically a airman airman recruit as E1, airman apprentice as E2, and then airman as E3 until you pick a job, which is basically a rate. So you're just jobless. And so me personally, I was undesed a long time ago. Not really a long time ago. It's like maybe 4 years ago. And so I had to go through the same process. So let's go back and talk about how I personally got picked for APAC. So I went down to MEPS and I was there to sign up for a job, basically. I took my ASVAB, got my scores back. I went in the office, they set me down, like, these are the jobs that you qualify for. What do you want to do? And me, I personally didn't know what I wanted to do because I didn't look up the jobs beforehand. Like, I knew I wanted to go to the Navy, but I didn't know what I wanted to do at that very moment in time. So I was lost. I was like, I don't know exactly what I want to do. And then it was like, well, we have this great program called APAC, and basically it allows you to test out all these different jobs, and then you can pick whatever one you want. So I was like, oh, cool, bet. That sounds super fun. Like I could try all these other jobs and then pick whichever one is best for me. So yeah, that's how I got picked up for APAC. Now let's talk about what it's like being an APAC. So being an APAC or undesignated sailor in the Navy, at least for aviation side, that's because that's what I'm at. I was very fortunate to go to a squadron instead of like a ship, because if you go ship's company first, your first term as an undesignated sailor, you are going to end up as an ABH, ABE, ABF, and those are all like people who like are designated like carrier people. Like it's not fun. They say, oh, you don't get to be an aviation no, you don't ever want to be an ABH, an ABE, a nothing, AB nothing. Don't do it. But me specifically, I went to a squadron where there were like ADs, AEs, AMs, AOs, ATs, AZs. There was like the rest of the aviation rates. And so I went there and it was very cool. Like my first command was actually very open. Like they actually let the undesk process happen. Like I would come into work and my chief or my OPO would ask me, hey, what rate do you want to be today? If I wanted to be an AZ, I can go hang out with the AZs all day. If I want to be a PR, I can go to PR shop for a couple hours and learn about those jobs. So for me, I was very fortunate enough to go to a place that actually allowed the program to do what it's supposed to do. So yeah, I did not have the worst experience being a undesignated sailor. I actually kind of enjoyed it because I had like no real job, no real responsibilities. I was just kind of like a floater. Like I just did odd things people asked me to do, which was not that hard. It was very easy. So let's talk about how long it took me to get a rate. So like I said, after 2 years, you're able to pick a job basically. And so my 2 years came and went and I was able to pick a rate. Finally, during that process of waiting to pick a rate, I retook my ASVABs, I think a total of 3 times because I wanted to get the highest score possible so I have more options available. So I was like, perfect. This is perfect, perfect, perfect. My score is good. Like, let's open up and pick this rate. So I went up to my NC, and NC is basically a career counselor. I went up to my NC1, and she sat me down. She's like, this is a list of jobs that are open, like rates you can pick from. She's like, these are the ones that require you to go back to A school. These are the ones that just like, you know, bada bing, bada boom, bada ba. So I was sitting there, I had this long list of jobs, and if you want to, you can switch from APAC to SPAC, and SPAC is a surface side of the Navy, so like surface undesignated, but being a surface undesignated is just like, you gonna end up off the side of the boat, painting the boat, and I don't wanna do that. And you can also go to like an EPAC, which is like a CB rate, which are like basically construction workers in the Navy. So I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to stay APAC. So she was like, all right, cool. So now we got it out of the way. She's like, what out of these jobs do you want to do? It's like, out of the jobs you do downstairs, like, which one do you like the most? I was like, well, I like being at AE. And so for those who don't know what an AE is an aviation electrician's mate. Sorry, aviation electrician's mate. And I was like, I want to be an AE NC1. She was like, okay, cool. So I pitted for AE, and she was like, do you want to put anything for anything else? I was like, no, because all I want to do is be an AE. So she was like, all right, we're going to put you in for AE and see where it goes. Put me in for AE, and then they went through the whole process of selecting rate. They was like, sorry, you've been denied. And I was like, denied? Like, what? Y'all didn't tell me like this was a part of the process of getting denied jobs. And they was like, yeah, you can get denied. Like, they won't accept you. So the next available cycle for me to pick a rate came along, and she was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I still want to be an AE. She was like, well, we're not just going to pick AE this time. We need to pick something else. So I was like, pick AZ. And so she picked AE and AZ. Still got denied. Next time came along. What do you want to do now? Still want to be AE. Well, we can't just pick AE, so you have to pick something else. So the thing is though, if you pick anything else, they might deny you for your first choice, but they say, for instance, if you pick like 4 choices down, and you just pick 4 random choices besides the one you want, they may select you for one of those random ones and you get stuck in a job that you don't want. So I was very adamant that I wanted to be an AE. And so I did that for a long time. I think it was almost up to my 3rd year being complete. And so I was like, I want to be AEs. But it was my last chance to look. She was like, if you don't pick a rate this time, they're going to pick a rate for you. So I was like, all right, well, cool. Pick AE, pit AD, and then pit AM. So AE, like I said, is an aviation electrician's mate. AD is an aviation machinist mate, and then AM is an aviation structural mechanic. And I didn't want to be an AM. I ain't gonna lie. Watching AMs do work, it sucks. So I was like, you gotta do not trying to be an AM. So I was like, I really hope y'all give me AE, but if not, at least I have AD to fall back on. And so it was like one random day, she texted me at the blue. She was like, hey, the Navy's gonna make you AD. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I don't mind that. Like, I didn't get the job I wanted, which was the AE, but I became an AD. So I was like, forget about it. I'll take it. Boom. So now that I had a rate, how long did it take me to make rank? So with that being said, back then when I was at Undes, which was about in 2017-ish, they weren't automatically advancing people to 3rd classes. So I actually had to work and take the exam to make 3rd. But in my case, I was such an outstanding sailor, they automatically promoted me to E4. So like, I literally found out that I made AD on Monday, and then on Friday, I got mapped to E4. So that's how I made E4 very fast. And then how I made E5 was, I had already made E4, so I was eligible to take E5 the next cycle. And so I took E5 the next cycle, made E5, and then here I am today. So yeah, but now with undesignated sailors, once you get your rate, you are automatically promoted to E4. And there's also a sign-on bonus of $10,000 for undesignated airmen. So, you know, if you really want to join the Navy as undes, you can get a nice little sizable sign-in bonus. You know, who knows? But that's all for you if you decide to do that. And the last thing I have to talk about is being a APAC, undesignated airman, good or bad? It's just basically how you depend on how you look at it. Because, and looking back at it now, I think for me personally, it was a good experience because I happened to go to one of those places that allowed the process to really work, and I got a chance to explore other rates. As if you go to like maybe a ship, there's no ADs, AEs, AMs, AOs, ATs there. And if they are there, they're basically a ship's company, which means they're not doing the job that they're trained to do. They're just like doing some other stuff. And so, yeah, like I personally loved being APAC. If I could have stayed undesignated to now, I probably would have. Because it was great. Like I was not stuck doing the same type of jobs every day. Like I got to work on different systems and I got to really learn the aircrafts. So yeah, being on desk for me personally was great. I also hear horror stories about undesignated, how they go to like the carriers and be ship's company, and then they end up being AVFs or AVEs and stuff like that, and they end up working on the flight deck and they hate it and they get out after 4 years. So it's just honestly depends on where you go after you go through A school, because our A school for undesignated is only like 4.5 weeks, if that long. And so yeah, it just depends on where you go. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, repost. Follow me in my other platforms. It'll be in the description box below. And yeah, if you guys want to join the Navy as undez, or you just have questions about it, make sure you guys leave them in the comment section, because I will probably do another one of these videos in a couple months. Just give a more refreshed, updated version of it. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, repost. I said all that already, but still make sure you do it. And goodbye.